Hi Rahul, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes. So I'm a QA engineer, and means I worked in different companies previously. So I have experience in manual testing, automation testing, SQL, Postman, and means I have worked in agile development model, and means I've done activities what normal QA tester does. Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us something about the automation framework on which you have worked?
Means I have worked on a hybrid framework in Selenium WebDriver.
Mm-hmm.
So in that means there are different layers. Firstly, we have page class layers. Means we make different classes related to pages, web pages of application. Means it can be like that home page.java, then any registration page, and then there is a test layer page. Means in that classes are related to test cases. In that we write the test cases using the iTest listeners and means a TestNG framework. And one part is various integrations are there. Like we use utilities, we use reporting, and various yeah
Mm-hmm. So
utilities
what
are
is the
there.
use of iTest listener?
Means I test listeners. I think it is an interface
Mm-hmm.
so that uh, we can use the various methods so that when it basically listens to any event. Means when it can be the example of whenever any test case it is skipped or it is failed. So what should be done? So we write the particular action to be performed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in your resume, you have mentioned about BDD framework. So what do you know
Yes.
about BDD framework? Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I have little knowledge of BDD framework. Means BDD framework is basically about it is used in business development,
Mm-hmm.
and means suppose there is a environment of various stakeholders like QA, business analyst, product owner. So it is a particular framework in which they can communicate together. Means how should a particular scenario behave, and in business terms. So means it is used in that case.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let's say you have a very tight sprint schedule. Okay, you have already given your estimation. You have already given your commitment, right? And sprint is of 15 days. Now one more requirement has been added into the sprint. Then what will you do? How will you handle this situation?
Okay, one more sprint is being added.
Not one more sprint, one more user story or one more requirement has
User
been
story.
added. Sprint,
Okay,
the
okay.
timeline of the sprint remains the same, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You had work allocated to you. You had given the estimation, you had given the commitment. Now one more user story is assigned to you. So how will you handle this situation?
Means I will first of all means check what user stories are in my bucket.
Mhm,
So I will make sure means I will discuss it in sprint planning. What is their complexity and means how much effort they require, what kind of resources, what kind of testing is required, and then I will means I will try to discuss with my QA team means who can take that user story, or if I know means which person can take that user story. Means,
mhm,
there can be a case if it is related to some previous user story, means, I can assign to a similar person, or means we will have to do a proper discussion because and knowing it beforehand that will make it easy for us so that uh, because we know that it's a tight sprint, so we can plan it before means
mhm.
when we should
Okay,
assign.
let's say there are only two team members in your team, right? And one of the team member is already on leave, right? You are only the QA person who is going to work. Then how will you handle
Yeah.
this situation?
Okay. So means I will try to
Mhm,
first check, go through his user story. Means
mhm,
if it is doable, I will try to do it. Means and if I face any obstacles or doubts, I will try to take some help from him, and then complete the means user story. If it means doesn't work, I will take help means of cross team support. It can be cross team support or my own product team, or means in that developers and QA both work together. I can take support. Yeah.
mm. Okay, okay. So let's say if you get this kind of question in an interview, right? Then what will you do is there are two approaches. If you're working in a service-based company, you can have a word with the client and you can get their expectations. What are the priorities? For example, two user stories are already assigned to you. One more user story is added into
Yeah.
into that sprint schedule, right? Then you will ask them, you need to ask them that what is your priority? Which user story is having P0 priority? Which user story is having P1 priority? Accordingly, you will plan. Second thing is you can
Okay.
always create your test data in advance. Whenever the stories are in development, still you can create some test data. For example,
Yeah.
your user story is of validating whether files are getting properly uploaded or not. So you can create the test data of such kind of files, 1 MB, 10 MB, 1 GB, those kind of file formats. With different file formats, you can create your test data well in advance. Test
Yeah.
cases would be there, right? And then you just have to execute them. Now let's say
Yeah.
if you get the user story on time, then you would be able to complete. But then again, in an interview, you might get cross question. Okay, you are not getting the user story on time. Then what you will do? So you have test cases, you have test data, you have
Yeah.
a test environment, right? You will hand it over to the development team and you will ask someone to execute those test cases and then you will review their test results, right? So
Yeah.
ownership is yours. So you can get the work done from the other team members, you can get the work done from the development team, from the cross-functional team, but
Yeah.
the ownership, the responsibility is yours. So you have to review at the end, right? So that's how you can answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now
Okay.
in the automation, which language you are using?
Core Java.
Core Java. Okay. So what is polymorphism?
Polymorphism, it is a concept in which an object can take multiple forms. Yeah, means it can be in the form of means runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So can you give some example with respect to your automation framework wherein you have implemented polymorphism?
Means when we use the framework, means like design pattern, page, object model. In that means code is being reused, and means there are certain classes so that are inheriting methods from the parent class. So there we are using inheritance concept that comes under polymorphism. Means it is a OOPS concept. We have method overriding and method overloading also. Yeah.
So inheritance is totally different from
Yeah.
polymorphism, right? Inheritance is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
if you get this question in an interview, so you can explain you have one base class and you have other derived classes. So you will be using
Yeah.
inheritance concept there. But where will you use polymorphism?
Polymorphism means in suppose we have the example of method overriding. So
Mm,
in that means there can be a class where our require means we have to fulfill a requirement that is particular mean, but it requires a common test method. So we have to use that method, but its implementation would be different. Means what is written inside that test method. So in that case, means we use method overriding.
okay. So let this be an open
Yeah.
question for the people who are watching this video. Give a real-time example in the comment section of this video about polymorphism being used in the Selenium Java automation framework.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what do you know about Jenkins?
Jenkins, it is a CI/CD tool. Means it is used for automating the smoke suits. Means when we have a large set of test cases, so we just start the build, and it can be on a prod server or beta server, and then we get the smoke suit results. So means CI/CD is continuous integration, continuous development. So it is a means process used for the continuous development approaches, so that we can make incremental changes. If bug comes, then developer can fix them in next release. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so now you have joined from laptop, right? I'm giving you screen sharing rights.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you need to write a program on finding whether a given number is palindrome or not. Okay, so I have given
Okay.
you screen sharing rights. You can now share your screen.
Okay.
Hmm. Just click on that green button, share screen button.
So
Yeah, so you have to write a program
uh,
on checking
I will.
whether the, yeah, sorry, hello, hello, hello. Hmm.
Means is it given that how much digit number is it?
Yeah, you can take any number. You can take 545 as a number.
Okay.
Hmm. So what you are thinking?
Means
Mm-hmm.
I I'm trying to find means each digit of a
Mm-hmm.
number. If a number is given, so means how I can find its value of each digit. Then I will try to check means if it is a case of three-digit number, then if hundredth digit is equal to the units digit,
Mm-hmm.
then it will be a palindrome. Else it will not be a.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. So just facing difficulty in writing the code.
Mm-hmm. No worries. No worries. Uh,
Hmm.
if you want, I can share my screen.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
Sure.
can showcase you. Yeah. See, there are two approaches. So once you get this question in a real-time interview, so how you can write the program. So there are two approaches to write this program. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So see, first of all, you will get the number to check for palindrome. So whatever input you will get that you have to use, right? Then you have to hold that particular number in some temp variable. Okay. Then reverse the number. Right now, what we have to do is we have to compare the temporary number with the reverse number. If both the numbers are same, then print palindrome. Palindrome means what? The number, let's say we take 545. So if you go
Hmm.
from left or if you go from right, the number remains the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have done is here we have created one class. Okay. Then public static void main. Yeah. Three variables we have declared, right? Integer r, sum equal to 0 and temp. Okay. And this is the number variable for which we have to check whether it is palindrome or not. Okay. We'll assign this number to a temp variable. Okay. Now what we will
Hmm.
do is we'll use this logic. We'll use while here, right? If n is while n is greater than 0, right? And
Hmm.
we'll assign the value to r. What is the remainder that we are assigning to r? Okay. Then this is the another logic. Same logic. We are continuing sum equal to sum into 10 plus r. Okay. And
Hmm.
finally, if temp equal to sum, then you will print it's a palindrome. If not, it's not a palindrome. Okay. This is one of the approach.
Okay.
Now, when you write this approach, the in an interview, you might be asked about another approach. So this is
Hmm.
the another approach in which we have used string. Okay. So we are using for loop here. So again, scanner in is equal to new scanner, right? So whatever the number is there that we are entering here, right? We'll go for loop for I equal to length minus one, right? I is greater than or equal to zero, I minus minus. So that loop will traverse every time. And if the original equals reverse, so this is the string approach that we have used. This is the normal coding approach that we are using here, right? Then here we are printing it's a palindrome. Else we are printing it's not a palindrome. Okay, so that's how you can write in the coding interview questions. So these kind of questions would be asked. Okay, now
Yeah.
let's look into your CV. Hmm. Okay, in your technical skills, you have mentioned that you have got expertise in Log4j and JDBC. So where do you use Log4j and JDBC?
I think log4j that is used in means uh, for creating logs means
Hmm.
in properties file.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose we are means whatever action we are performing with the test case, so it will record all the logs means how a test case was executed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And JDBC, I have little knowledge of it. Means it is used for means for sending mail purposes.
Okay, let me
This
share the screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
yes, yes,
Yeah. So you have mentioned you are developing the test cases and test scripts and integration of test cases with Zephyr, test case management tool. So Zephyr you are using as a test case management tool. So how do you create a
yes.
test case in that?
I think we create folders, means user story wise, and then we just create means test case, and we just copy paste from Jira tool or wherever, means it may vary depending on the organization. Means wherever we write the test cases, we just copy paste there, and if there is any defect, we just link it
Okay.
through, yeah, through
Mm.
the bug link in Jira.
Okay. Now let's say you are using test automation scripts. Okay. So if in your test automation anything is failing, so would that test case be updated as pass or fail in Zephyr by itself, or you are doing it manually?
That I'm not sure. Means,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not using that case. No.
Okay. Okay. So in an interview, you would be asked this kind of question. Let's say your automation script was running at the night time and something got failed. So would it be updating your Zephyr test case as well or not? So if you have done Zephyr integration with your automation framework, then it would be updated. So you can integrate a Zephyr with Selenium using Zappy. So Zappy is an open source API that are coming, which will help you to get the status of the test case, post the status of the test case, right, in Zephyr itself. And
No.
in Zephyr, you will also have test cycles, right? The test cycles, for
Yes.
example, you would have created separate cycle for smoke testing. You would have created separate cycle for regression. Separate cycle would be
Yeah.
there for performance. These cycles will be updated, right? Based on your automation test itself. Okay. Uh, how do you analyze the Azure server logs? Like, what kind of issue did you face? Do you have any experience in this?
There was several issues. Means, suppose we are testing in a loan origination software, so we have different loan files there.
Mm,
So it can be a case, means um, a particular functionality is means working in a particular loan file and not working in other.
mm,
Otherwise, the both the loan files are having the same functionality. So uh, I can just use the Azure logs. Means one was for QA environment and other was for other, means for dev environment or local, they used to say. So I can just check the logs, means due to which reason or at which time which exception is coming.
mm.
So I can check it through Azure logs and just try to troubleshoot the issue. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Review test cases before start of test execution with business sign off. So do you get some sign off from the client, from the business team?
Means, yeah, the first level of test case review that we used to do peer review
Mm,
through a QA team, and then a final review had to be done by the business team.
mm.
Means it can be the product owner or the business analyst.
Okay. So when you do this review, so do you walk them through each and every test case details or just high level test scenarios?
With whom? Means, pardon.
Let's say you are scheduling a meeting with the business team for the sign off. So do you walk through each and every test case in detail or do you just walk through the high level test scenarios?
No, actually, means if there was any review comment,
Mm,
then we used to discuss, means what
mm,
improvement or what exactly they require,
mm,
and if there was any further consultation required or discussion, then we used to have a call so
mm,
that we can have a final word of the business team to have more clarity.
mm.
Mm.
Okay, so you are sending the test cases to them in an email, and if they are having
Yeah.
some review comment, then you are getting on a call.
We used to, means send through the Jira. Means we used to create
Okay,
PRs,
okay,
so they used to review on that.
okay, okay. You have written that you are doing functionality, compatibility, database testing, familiar with systems testing. Okay, so how do you perform database testing?
There were few cases means of database testing. Means uh, there was a case where we have to check the data, or means correct data is coming or not.
Mm,
So in that, I took help of the developer. So he just extracted the data for me, so that I can check the means correct data for that particular set of users. Yeah.
mhm. Okay. So in that case, you did not entered any queries, you did not fired any queries in the database, select star or something,
I've,
get the
I've,
data.
I've
Never.
not used much
Okay.
on my end. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No worries. Fine. Okay. Automated test cases run automation, smoke suit, updated test run results. So do you update them
Mhm.
manually?
Mm. Means we used to send the test results,
Mm,
whatever we used to get from the Jenkins, and we used to post in a group where whole means stakeholders or management team
mm,
that can see what were the test results. So we used to just pass a message that test cases look good, and uh, presenting the data in a tabular form, the test cases pass, failed, and means which bugs came.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So what do you mean by Scrum?
Scrum.
Mm,
Scrum. I think Scrum is a framework uh, which is used for continuous collaboration and interaction, through
mm,
which we do development and testing activities, uh, whatever are related. Means we
mm.
can do it in an integrated way.
Okay. In Selenium, have you faced a class not found exception?
Class not found exception.
Mm,
Mm, I think I have encountered it, but
mhm.
I think I don't know its reason. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. You would have heard about checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions in Java, right? So
Yes.
whenever, yeah. So in Java, you will get this kind of class not found exception, right? This is one kind of a checked exception. It will occur when the Java virtual machine is trying to load a particular class and specified class cannot be found in that class path, right? So how will you, so one aspect of this question is what is class not found exception? Okay. Akash, can you please hold on for 2 minutes? Let me put him in waiting room. Right, so that is class not found exception. Now, how will you handle this class not found exception? So you can handle it with a try catch block or using the throw keyword, right? So
Yeah.
that's how you can do. Okay, Rahul, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Just want to know the feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you the feedback.